Hey y'all, this is session 3 of Create, Communicate, and Connect with Google Apps, and I'm Kendra, your instructor. Session 3 is our virtual class, and I wanted to give you a little overview of the things I was asking you to do, just in case you wanted a little bit of support on it. So I'm going to take you through the presentation that's posted on Google Classroom and show you where the assignments are on the Classroom as well as we go through it. If you have questions after watching this video, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always available to help you. Let's get started. So as I said, this is our virtual class, and that means that you can do your practice and learn the material anytime before Friday. The reason that we're leaving time afterward, the reason I'm asking you to have your work done by Friday, is so that you can interact with other people's posts on Classroom before our next class on Tuesday. So if you do all of your work on Tuesday, most of the items that you're doing require an interactive part where you're going to work with the information that other people have posted, and so I want to make sure that you have a chance to do that so you can complete all of your work. So first thing, we're going to review. Last time we talked about Google Drawings and Google Sites. So if you go to your Google Classroom, the first assignment is the review of what we learned in session 2. So this is a Google Drawings. The important thing to know about this drawing is that everyone has access to the same file, so it's a collaborative drawing. You're going to add the things that you remember us learning. If you can't remember anything new, you're welcome to build on the knowledge that someone else has already posted. Our agenda for this class is to review last class, which we've already talked about. That's our Start Without a Start. Then we are going to compare Google Classroom and Google Sites. We're going to talk about Blogger, and as I alluded to last time, we're going to talk about Blogger a little bit just because it's part of the Google Suite, but know that there are a lot of other blog options out there, and I think it's important for you to find one that's going to work for you, and more importantly, find one that's going to work for your students if you decide to bring this into your classroom. So you'll have a chance to explore different options and find the one that's best suited to you. You're going to then think about instructional uses for blogging, and then look at what's due for next class and think about your final project. So when you're looking at Google Classroom and Google Sites, which we talked about last time, I want you to reacquaint yourself with this article that I assigned for you last time. It's going to kind of give you an overview of Classroom and Sites, which we've already worked on, but it also has a component of Google Blogger in there. So what I'd like you to do is use one of the Google apps to create a graphic organizer, and it can be any kind of graphic organizer, and it can be any Google app that you want. I think that Google Drawings will work really well for this, but it doesn't have to be Google Drawing. It can be anything that you want. So that assignment is right here. You're going to read this article and then use the Create option in the assignment to make your graphic organizer. And again, it can look however it looks for you. Once you're finished with that, we're going to move into blogging. And at this point, I want you to just take a minute and think about why people blog. There are lots of reasons. I did the same thing and made a blog post on my own blog about why people blog and why people maybe should think about blogging. So I recorded a video taking you through some of those ideas. I took the 10 ideas that I had and made them into a Prezi, and that's what this is. And when you watch the video, you'll see the Prezi, and I'll talk you through it a little bit. But if we're looking at the classroom, that assignment's right here. When you are finished with the video and thinking about why you might want to use blogging with your students or blogging with yourself, you're going to look back at this article that we had last time, and then you're going to reply to the question on Classroom, what's a blog and why do people use them? So you should have some pretty good ideas about this already. Here's the question, and here's the article if you need that again. As I said earlier, you're going to look at Blogger a little bit, but you're also going to look at some other ideas. This is the document. It's a table organizer that I made in Google Docs, and it has some different options for you. So you're going to see the name and the link for the different blog platforms here. And then in this column are some details, some just general stuff that I thought might be interesting for you to know or helpful when you're first looking at the site. You'll notice that there's a blank column here. It's called What Are Your Impressions? This is a part where you're going to type in what your take is on each of these blog platforms. It's going to help you later when you're making the decision which one you want to use. You'll notice that there's also a blank row here. The blank row is for you to find a different one, something that I didn't bring up. There are lots of other blog platforms out there, and I want to see which ones that you can find. Once you complete this, you're going to turn it in on Classroom. Once you've had a chance to explore, you're going to answer this question: which blog platform interests you the most, and will you be blogging, and will your students be blogging? This is the chance where you're going to choose which blog platform works best for you. After you choose, you're going to build your blog. So sign up for an account, choose a name. If there are options for making it look a certain way, this is the time to do that. Once you're finished creating your blog, you're going to create 2 separate blog posts. The first one is going to reflect on what you've learned in class so far, because we're at the midway point. So talk about the things that you picked up, things that are going to work for you, things that were interesting, things that you liked, that sort of thing. For blog post number 2, you're going to write about how blogs can be used with students. Why could you want to have students blog? What are some of those reasons? I talked about some that I could think of. Maybe those are some of the ones that resonate with you. Maybe you can think of other reasons. Once you've written both of those blog posts, think about a way that you can put a Google Drive link into one of your blog posts. So find a file in your Drive and link it to one of your blog posts, just like we did from the website last time. This time you're going to do it in your blog though. So when you're doing this, you're going to look for the chain icon. It'll be somewhere in all of the blog platforms. Next, you're going to share your blog link, and that's this assignment here. Share the link to your blog on Classroom, and then you're going to go back and comment on someone else's blog post. So you'll be able to see the other people's links to their blogs. So you go to their blog and you'll comment on their blog. Don't comment on Google Classroom, comment on their blog. Underneath their post, there should be an option for commenting on it, and that's where you're going to do it. The last activity for this class is looking at instructional ideas for blogging. And this is going to be a jigsaw, and you're going to do some work around this during this class, but we're also going to use what you make in this one next class. So it's important that you do it. But the way that this looks is, again, it's a shared collaborative Google Slides presentation. And I put the instructions as slide number 2, although it used to be slide number 2. The instructions are here. So you're going to go to each one. Each one of these things has a link to a different blog resource or a blog idea. If you click up here, you'll see that it takes you to the link. And then you're going to put your impressions. What are the takeaways? What are the important parts of your resource? And write that on your slide. Your slide can look however you want it to look. You can include images, you can change the color, you can change the fonts, make it your own. When you're finished with all that, you can think about your work for next class. So your 2 assignments, number 1 is to read the Daily Scribe Learning Activity article, and that's on Google Classroom. It is here. And then you're going to write a blog post about your impressions. So all told, for session 3, you're going to be writing 3 blog posts. So make sure you get all 3 of those done. Keep in mind that next class is face-to-face, so we're back at Cario in the computer lab. And finally, you're going to link your new blog to your Google site that we made. So if you think back to last class, you made your Google site, and one of the pages on the left side or on your navigation, wherever that might be, was a link to your blog. Now's the time where you're going to link your blog to that part of your site. Once you're finished with all that and you've turned in all your work, you are good, and your assignments for this class are over. When you think of questions that you have, or if you need some support, please feel free to reach out to me anytime during the week. Remember, I am asking you to have all of your work done by Friday so that everyone has a chance to interact with the posts that you make, and that there's time built in for all of that so that everyone's ready to go on Tuesday when we're back together. I hope this was helpful, and I'm excited to see you all on Tuesday.